If you're running a business in Alberta, you know that workplace safety is non-negotiable. But when it comes to health and safety committees, are you 100% clear on what you need to do? Whether it's a full committee or just one representative, you've got to get it right. So in this explainer, we're going to break it all down, step by step. Okay, let's dive right in. Here's our game plan. We're going to start with the big why this all matters. Then we'll figure out if you actually need a committee or just a rep. After that, we'll get into building your team, what their job is, how to write the rule book, and finally, what you need to keep doing to make it all work. So, first things first, let's talk about why we're even having this conversation. Before we get into all the nitty-gritty rules, you have to understand the philosophy behind it. Why does the government mandate this stuff in the first place? Well, it all boils down to this one big idea: the internal responsibility system. This is the absolute bedrock of Alberta's safety laws. And what it means is simple. Safety isn't just the boss's job or the safety manager's job. It belongs to everyone. And these health and safety committees, they're the engine that really makes that principle come to life. All right, now for the million-dollar question every employer asks. Do I need a full committee, or can I get by with just a representative? Well, thankfully, the answer is pretty straightforward. It all comes down to a simple head count of your regular employees. So let's start with the first group. This is for businesses that have anywhere from 5 to 19 workers on the payroll regularly. If your company falls into that range, the law is clear. You need to designate a single health and safety representative. Think of it as having one dedicated point person for safety collaboration. But the moment your team hits that 20-worker mark or grows beyond it, well, that's when the rules change. You're now required to set up a full health and safety committee. So just burn this into your brain, 20. 20 is the magic number that kicks you up to the next level. So just to make it crystal clear, a representative is one person. A committee is a group, a team, made up of both workers and management. But here's the most important part. Their core job is exactly the same. They are both there to be advisors to the employer on everything related to health and safety. So you've done the math and you need a full committee. Great. What's next? You have to actually build it. And you can't just pick names out of a hat. There's a formal process you have to follow to make sure it's fair and everyone gets a voice. It all starts with the employer. You figure out how many worker reps you need, and you set a reasonable deadline. But then the power shifts. If you have a union, they pick their people. The non-union workers, they pick their own people too. And then finally, you, the employer, select your members to represent the management side. Now, the way the committee is structured is really smart. It's all about balance. For instance, you can never have more managers on the committee than workers. And those worker members, they have to be actual frontline staff, not supervisors. Even the leadership is shared. You have 2 co-chairs, one picked by the workers, one picked by management. It's a true partnership. Okay, so your team is assembled. Now, what do they actually do? Let's get into their job description and, just as important, what your responsibilities are to make sure they can do their job effectively. The OHS Act gives the committee 4 main jobs. They need to handle safety concerns from workers. They get to be part of your formal hazard assessments. They make official recommendations to you, and they review your site inspection records. It's all about being proactive and having a seat at the table. But remember, it's a two-way street. For the committee to work, you, the employer, have a job to do too. You have to respond to their concerns quickly, give them the info and training they need, and you have to keep them in the loop about any serious incidents. The whole system really only works when both sides are all in. To keep things running smoothly, every committee needs a clear set of rules. In the safety world, this document is called the Terms of Reference. Honestly, the best way to think about it is as your committee's constitution. And the OHS Code is super specific about what needs to be in this rulebook. You have to spell out everything: how long people serve, how often you'll meet, how you'll run meetings, how you'll solve arguments. This isn't a list of nice ideas. It's a mandatory checklist you have to complete. A really critical rule you have to define is quorum. It sounds like a fancy legal term, but it just means the minimum number of people who have to show up for a meeting to be official. And the rule is designed to protect the worker's voice. At least half the committee has to be there, and of those people, at least half have to be worker reps. No quorum, no meeting. Simple as that. So you've built the committee and you've written the rules. You'd think the hard part is over, right? Well, not quite. Now comes the ongoing work of keeping the committee alive, active, and a real part of your safety culture.
Your ongoing duties are absolutely crucial. You're on the hook for providing mandatory training. You have to post the members' names and contact info where every single employee can see it. You have to keep meeting minutes for at least 2 years. And this one's huge. You have to let them meet during paid work hours because this is part of their job. Look, when you lay it all out, it can seem like a lot of administrative hoops to jump through, but it is so important to see past the paperwork. A well-run committee isn't about red tape or just checking a box for the government. It is a powerful, powerful tool. It's a direct investment in your people, their well-being, and ultimately the health of your entire business.
So we've laid out the entire blueprint for you. Now the only question left is for you to answer. Is your safety committee just a piece of paper you file away to stay compliant? Or is it a real, active, thriving partnership that's actually making your workplace safer for everyone?